welcome back to the channel. So today I'm going to be doing a Disney World versus Disneyland video because I just recently took a trip over to Disneyland in California this past February, and I've been a pass holder at Disney World here in Florida for a couple of years now, so I wanted to see what it was like to go to the Disney where it all started. So I'm like, let me do a video that showcases Disney World and Disneyland, what they have in common, and tell you guys what I think is better. So if you guys like this video, please give it a thumbs up, comment down below any other video ideas that you guys may have for me, what kind of content you want to see from me in the future. So yeah, let's get started. Okay, so first ride I'm going to be talking about is Space Mountain. So Space Mountain here in Disney World is a one-seater rocket with 6 rows to the back, and Disneyland Space Mountain is a 2-seater rocket with 6 rows to the back. So for me personally, Space Mountain is one of my all-time favorite attractions. It has been since I was a little girl going to Disney World, and I obviously had to see what it was like on the West Coast. So for me personally, I love a thrilling attraction. I love thrill rides. So any kind of a roller coaster, I'm all for it. So Disneyland is actually more of a thrill coaster because it has the wider ride vehicle. They have more room to play around with the thrill factor. So for that reason, I actually have to say that I like Disneyland's more. I feel like it's totally unpredictable. The ride is just so intense and thrilling, especially because it's in the dark, so you don't know where you're going, when you're going to drop, what's going to happen next. So yeah, Disneyland has my vote for their Space Mountain on this one. Second ride I'm going to be reviewing is the Pirates of the Caribbean. So what a lot of people don't know is that the Pirates of the Caribbean in Disneyland is obviously the original Pirates of the Caribbean, but the movies didn't come out until after that ride was released in Disneyland. So the movies are actually based on the Disneyland ride, and then Disney World followed after the movies had come out. So for me, I've always loved Pirates of the Caribbean, just like Space Mountain. I've always loved Pirates of the Caribbean. It's a very, very cool ride. It's, one of those rides where it's a boat ride. So, if you're outside sweating all day, it's a good ride to go inside and get some fresh air. But it's also just a cool ride in general. Disneyland's Pirates of the Caribbean has more ride time than Disney World. It's a lot more detailed, a lot of extra added material in it. So again, I'm gonna have to give my vote to Disneyland on this one. I mean, they really just knocked it out of the park with this ride. It was unbelievable. I wanted to ride it again as soon as I got off, and those rides are the best rides to have. So yeah, Disneyland, get my vote again with Pirates of the Caribbean. Third ride that I'm going to be reviewing, they're not exactly the same ride, but they're the same concept. It's the Matterhorn at Disneyland and Expedition Everest at Disney World's Animal Kingdom. So the ride is the same concept. It's a roller coaster ride through the mountains, and you come across a Yeti, and it's supposed to be, a thrill coaster. And to me personally, the Matterhorn was not that thrilling. I mean, I was expecting it to be at least a little bit like Expedition Everest here on the East Coast, but I was kind of disappointed. I mean, it was really, really detailed ride, super cool ride, do not get me wrong, but I was expecting a little bit more of a thrill. but I got off the ride and I was really, really disappointed in the thrill factor. So for that one, I'm going to have to give this one to Expedition Everest here in Walt Disney World. Fourth ride that I'm going to be reviewing is It's a Small World, and for some of you, you either love it or you hate it. I know a lot of people who hate this ride because the song is annoying, but I also know a lot of people that love this ride because it's just nostalgic Disney. So for those of you who don't know, Walt Disney first brought this ride over to the 1964 World's Fair in New York City. It got a plethora of positive reviews, so that's when he decided to bring it over to Disneyland, and Disney World was soon to follow. So what I like about Disneyland is they have Disney characters in their designated countries. So Alice in Wonderland is in England, Cinderella's in France, Aladdin and Jasmine are in Morocco. So for me, that was just like, wow, like, you know, just making that extra step to make it even more Disney. Whereas Disney World, it's less detailed. It's still that same concept of a ride, but that ride I can only ride a couple times a year and I'm over it. Disneyland, I could have rode it all day because I was just in absolute awe with this ride. So Disneyland, again, they're taking my vote with It's a Small World. That I'm going to be talking about is another classic Disney attraction, the Big Thunder Mountain Railroad. So for me, these two rides were very similar. I mean, like almost identical to each other. The only difference that I found, and I don't know if this is true, it may just be me, I found that Disneyland was more thrilling than Walt Disney World. And as I've discussed in previous rides, I love a thrill attraction. That's the reason why I go to the parks, for the attractions. Well, that's not the only reason, but I like my thrilling attractions. So for this reason, I have to give the Big Thunder Mountain vote to Disneyland as well. So next attraction I'm going to be talking about is Radiator Springs Racers versus Test Track here in Epcot. So these attractions are the same concept, two totally different themings. Radiator Springs Racers is of course based on the movie Cars, and Test Track is sponsored by Chevrolet. So it's pretty much just like a car testing simulator. You get to design your own car and test it against different elements. And Radiator Springs Racers is you're pretty much going through the movie Cars and you end up racing against another car that is next to you. So I personally like Radiator Springs Racers better. I love the theming. I love the whole concept of racing the other car. And I love the movie Cars anyway. So yeah, for this one I'm going to have to give it to Radiator Springs Racers. Next set of rides that I'm going to be putting against each other are the Incredicoaster and Rock and Roller Coaster. So this is probably going to be the hardest one that I'm going to do because I love them both so much. Rock and Roller Coaster is my favorite ride here at Walt Disney World, and Incredicoaster was just an amazing coaster at Disneyland California Adventure, which was formerly known as California Screamin'. So the Incredibles theming is super cute. I found myself like quoting the little things inside the tubes after I left. But I'm gonna have to give this one to Rock and Roller Coaster because it's been my tried and true ride since the first time I've been on it. It's sponsored by Aerosmith. So when you're going on the ride, you're always gonna hear a different Aerosmith song. So it's always, a different experience, and I love this one has 3 inversions, and Incredicoaster only has 1 inversion. So yeah, it's gonna have to go to Rock and Roller Coaster here at Walt Disney World. Next two set of rides are the Tower of Terror and the Guardians of the Galaxy Mission Breakout, which was formerly Tower of Terror over at DCA. So for me, Tower of Terror was one of those rides that I never wanted to go on. I would always chicken out of it because I'm terrified of heights, I'm terrified of elevators. So that's kind of not really the best mix of a ride for me. So, I mean, I'll go on Tower of Terror, but it's like, it's not my favorite ride. So I was kind of hesitant on going on the Guardians of the Galaxy ride in Disney California Adventure, but I'm like, you know what? I don't know when the next time I'm going to get to go on this ride again is. So I have to do it. You guys, I literally went on it again right after that. I freaking loved it. Like, it was just, the theming was incredible. The ride, you have one of 7 songs that you're going to get to hear when you're going down the drops and everything. I absolutely loved it. Did not bother me whatsoever. I wanted to just go on it again and again and again and again. So my obvious vote is going to the Guardians of the Galaxy Mission Breakout at Disneyland California Adventure. The next two that I'm going to be putting up against each other, they're not exactly in the same category, but I'm putting them against each other because they have the same movie theming. It's the Monsters Inc. Laugh Floor at Disney World, which is an attraction, and the Monsters Inc. Mike and Sully to the Rescue ride in Disney California Adventure. So I'm putting them against each other because obviously Monsters Inc., same concept. Monsters Inc. Laugh Floor is a sit-down attraction where the characters from Monsters Inc., they come out and they tell you jokes, they make it an audience interactive thing. It's really, really cool. It's one of those things where if you're sweating your butt off in Disney World when you're walking around Tomorrowland, you go there and you take a load off and you laugh. Whereas Mike and Sully to the Rescue, it's a really, really cute ride. And you're going through Monstropolis and you're trying to catch Boo, help Mike and Sully catch Boo. But for me personally, it was a cute ride, don't get me wrong, but I wasn't like overall that impressed with it. Whereas Monsters Incorporated, the Monsters Inc. Laugh Floor, it's something different every single time because each audience, they give different jokes. So for that, I'm going to have to give my vote to the Monsters Inc. Laugh Floor in Walt Disney World. Last 2 rides that I'm going to be putting against each other are the Indiana Jones ride and Dinosaur. So I love Dinosaur. Dinosaur is one of my all-time favorite rides here at Walt Disney World. And when I heard that they had the Indiana Jones ride, which is kind of the same thing as Dinosaur, I'm like, oh my gosh, like I have to go on it. I've never seen an Indiana Jones movie in my life, guilty. But this ride was unbelievable. I mean, guys, like, I love Dinosaur. Like, I cannot express enough how much I love Dinosaur. I quote that ride every single time I go to Walt Disney World. Like, it's bad. But the Indiana Jones, you can't beat that. I mean, the theming, the animatronics, the background, just everything. It was just so unreal. Like, you really felt like you were in an Indiana Jones movie. And the thrill, the action, just everything. It was unreal. So again, my vote's going Disneyland. Disneyland's, they're killing it with the rides, guys. Let me tell you, they're doing a great job. Alrighty guys, so that concludes today's video. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up, comment down below, subscribe, ring the bell to be notified whenever I post a new video. If you want to see another Disneyland versus Disney World video, please let me know. Leave me a comment down below. If you want to see anything else, that's what that comment section is for, guys. Please leave me any suggestions that you may have. And yeah, I hope you guys are having a great week, and I will see you on the next one. Bye.